Hello, everyone, and welcome to this latest online event here at the University of California, Merced. We are so thrilled that you could join us today and taking a part of your day to join us for the virtual Educator Tour series. Today's focus will be on student success at UC Merced. Thank you once again for joining us. My name is Ricky Hill, and I'm an e-recruiter and engagement specialist here at UC Merced. Allow me to give you a couple of quick tips before we get started. If you would like to adjust your audio settings, you can do that in the lower left corner of your screen. Just click the audio settings button and make those adjustments as you see fit. If you would like to adjust the size of your window, you can do that by clicking View Options in the upper portion of your screen and adjust those settings. Lastly, and most importantly, we would definitely love to hear your questions today. So if you can click on the Q&A button at the lower portion of your screen, you can send us your questions throughout the presentation. We will be answering those behind the scenes as well as during a live question and answer session at the end of this presentation. Once again, my name is Ricky Hill, and a big welcome to you today for this virtual Educator Tour series, Student Success at UC Merced. At this time, it's my great pleasure to hand things over to my colleague, Alex.
Good morning, and thank you again, Ricky, for that introduction. My name is Alex Delgadillo. I'm the Associate Director for Educational Equity and Access, which is located in the Calvin E. Bright Success Center. And as we're talking about student success, much of the student success here at UC Merced originates out of the varied services and programs that we offer through the Calvin E. Bright Success Center. A little introduction to UC Merced. Currently, we have over 8,800 students enrolled here at UC Merced, over 8,100 undergraduate students. And our campus is extremely diverse in that 74% of our undergraduate students here are first generation, meaning the first or among the first generation of their families to attend college. 91% of our students are students of color, and 64% of our students are considered low income. A little bit more about UC Merced. 6% of our student population is undocumented. Yeah, as you can see, our campus is extremely diverse as far as its cultural and ethnic identities, as well as something else in that 67% of our students come from families where English is not the prominent language spoken at home. So as a first generation student, many first generation students come to college with the idea that, well, I'll try to figure it out as best I can and then arrive and understand that maybe there's a lot more for them to learn about the experience of college, how to navigate it, who to talk to, and often addressing certain things of the uncertainty of college itself. Often not familiar with the resources or may know the resources, but do not always know how to utilize them. And so, yes, it's unknown territory for many first generation students who attend college. The Calvin E. Bright Success Center is divided in 3 pillars: learning support and engagement, student transition programs, and educational equity and access programs. And now we'll go through each of the various programs that we offer in each of these pillars. So in our learning support and education programs, there's academic competitions, learning support and engagement, peer-assisted learning support, as we call PALS, success mentor program, and the Undergraduate Studies 10 course. So we do provide academic competitions for students who wish to be part of this. And usually the requirement is a 3.5 or better GPA to be part of these different academic competitions. What we hope is that through this process, students become more competitive for not only scholarships here at the university or beyond the university, but also the prospect of postgraduate scholarships as some students choose to pursue their master's or doctoral programs afterwards. We also have a variety of support programs for our students engaging in academic review. So first year students, we review their mid-semester grades and do mid-semester interventions, which includes mid-semester workshops, meeting with your advisor in your Bobcat Advising Center to review how to turn things around. What we find is that 93% of our students will say that they apply the strategies from the workshop at least one class. But also one thing is also that 86% of the students who might have been struggling in mid-semester time are able to turn their grades around and be successful and complete their semester with a good, solid, strong GPA. Our peer-assisted learning support programs, or PALS, provides tutoring in a variety of subjects, prominently in lower division courses for first and second year students. But also we work collaboratively with our other resource centers on campus to provide additional assistance as far as tutorial programs for math, physics, chemistry, and also our STEM Resource Center. We also have a Success Mentor program where first year students who attend UC Merced are able to register and be assigned a mentor during their first year here at the university. And so what we see is our students developing these positive relationships with our continuing students who are peer mentors. And each of the mentors is trained in a variety of listening skills, communication skills, but also knowledge and ability to refer students to the appropriate resources that they need based upon what they need at that particular time in their development or tenure here at the university. Some of our mentees will themselves apply to become sex mentors, but at the same time, some students will choose maybe not to be a mentor, but want to continue and establish that communication with their mentor beyond the first year, in which we encourage as students know that there is a point of person or point of contact that they have that consistently will be there for them. We also encourage students to enroll in our Undergraduate Studies 10 course, which is an introduction to how to learn how to navigate the university, a series of personal journals every week that your instructor will review it and meet with student to discuss. Also learning more about the varied resources at the university, but also strategies that help students to be effective in their learning here at the university, but also sensitive to and inclusive of varied learning styles that students come to college with. Not everyone learns in the same way, and how do you utilize the resources available to you to accommodate your particular learning style? And it's also a means of self-empowerment, because learning the networks, learning the importance of developing relationships with faculty or mentors during your time here at the university will lead to successes and opportunities beyond the graduation. Student transition programs, the second pillar of the Bright Success Center, our new student orientation and strengthening talents and exploring pathways, also known as STEP, and then transfer, returning, and veteran program, as we commonly refer to as TRV. So orientation is an opportunity for incoming scholars and their families to participate in an orientation program. Now, there's a concurrent program, one for students who are incoming and a concurrent orientation for family members or parents, to learn more about how they become allies and support their scholar here at the university, and learning more about the support services and programs and resources that the university offers for student success. Students learn more about their major, the requirements for their major. They also learn about, as well, about the different resources and programs that will help them to be successful. The experiential opportunities beyond the classroom, such as internships and research opportunities, as 68% of our students from UC Merced will state that they were involved in some form of research before they graduated from the university. So here are the opportunities that as an introduction to the university and learning more about the opportunities. We do provide 2 sessions in Spanish for Spanish-speaking families, as well as the orientation is completely in Spanish. And we also do year-long programming efforts and workshops for students even after they participate in orientation in the summer prior to their starting here, their tenure at the university. Strengthening Talents and Exploring Pathways program is what we often refer to as a TRIO program. The intent of the program is to address the unique needs of first-year students and second-year students who may be undecided as far as their proposed major, or maybe have proposed a major but still uncertain about the career path that will take them, or basically have already determined their major and their career path but are uncertain of how to get there. So if I was majoring in biological sciences with an emphasis in human biology because my intent is to go to medical school, but I'm not sure exactly what path I should be taking in order to get ready to be competitive and ready for admission to medical school. The program assists our students in a variety of ways, with guest speakers coming in, with individual counseling and mentoring, with high-touch practices such as, for example, bringing in guest speakers who particularly, especially alums who will come in and talk about their experiences of how they got to medical school, how they got to law school, or how they got into a master's or doctoral program, or what they're currently doing in their career after they graduated from the university. So there's a whole holistic approach as far as helping young scholars determining their path. One of the things that I always advise students is always have a plan. And that plan starts the first day you started here at the university. And one of the best ways to get off to a good start is enrolling in the STEP program to get you off to a good start and understanding, especially if you're undecided, undeclared, and getting much more assessment and advising as possible careers and possible majors that might be appropriate for those possible careers that you might have demonstrated an interest in. Transfer, returning, and veteran services is for those students who are transfer students, whether they're transferring from a California community college or a community college outside the state of California, or they're transferring from another four-year university. Returning students are those students who may have left the university for whatever reasons, financial, academic, personal reasons, and may have chosen to return back to the university and been reinstated, and therefore helping them back into their transition back to the university and helping them with a variety of services that they will need. In addition to veteran services. For those veterans who have decided to continue with their education, maybe transferring from a community college or directly have been admitted as first-year students directly after serving the military. So we provide a variety of support programs, including a USTU class specifically for them, for transfer students. We also have assistance with book purchasing. We also provide mentoring as well as career advising. Educational equity and access programs, and that's what I oversee. And so it's divided into a variety of programs: community partnerships, Fiat Lux Scholars Program, Guardian Scholars, services for undocumented students, social justice initiatives, and identity programs. And our newest program that we will begin in the fall is the Underground Scholars Initiative. Community partnership is made up of 25 community agreements with 25 community-based organizations or charter schools throughout the state of California whose students attend UC Merced. Through this partnership, we are able to support these scholars not only here at UC Merced, but because of the continuing support that the scholars receive from their home schools or home organizations. It's a partnership to better support these scholars who attend here at UC Merced. As you can see, currently we have 627 students who are enrolled for the spring, who are part of these varied partnerships. The average GPA for these 627 students was 2.904. That includes first years, second years, third years, fourth years here at the university. And we do have some pending partnerships coming up soon. What we see in these partnerships that we retain the students from the first to second year at a 94% rate. 85% of the scholars from these cohorts will be on track to graduate from the university in 6 years. 71% of the scholars will graduate in exactly 4 years. The Fiat Lux Scholars Program. Now, those of you might be familiar with EOP or Educational Opportunity Programs at other universities. The University of California, half our campuses refer to it as EOP, the other half refer to it as their own title. Here at UC Merced, we chose to call our program the Fiat Lux Scholars Program. What is unique about this program is that it is a program that supports students through their first 4 years here at the university. The first year scholars are required to live on campus in a Fiat Lux community, meet certain academic and programming requirements, and also meeting with their counselors at least twice a semester, meeting with peer advisors at least 2 or 3 times a semester. They also receive academic and personal support. They also receive assistance with tutoring, mentorship, but also comes with an $80,000 financial package that's spread out over 4 years. That means the student is guaranteed a minimum of $20,000 for 4 years. The students for this program usually will graduate at a high rate. Our retention rate is 94% from the first to second year. Also, the other thing is that the average GPA for our first year students this past year was 3.24. Guardian Scholars is a program that we offer here at UC Merced to support those students who've been formerly in foster care or have at one time been homeless, and therefore also receive consideration for financial aid through the state of California, but also in addition to the Cal Grant, Pell Grant, as well as institutional funds that the university provides these students. We also provide year-round housing for these students, as some of our students may not have a place to go when we're on break, for like example, winter break, spring break, summer. We do provide year-round housing for them and also assistance with food sustainability as well. They also receive priority registration for their courses. They also receive assistance in purchasing their books. Our retention rate overall for this group of cohort of students, which made up of not only students who come here as a first-year student, but also have transfer students in that mix as well. So the overall retention rate is 98%, with 96% of our students retaining from first to second year who come in as first-year students. Social justice initiatives is a means of providing opportunity for students who come from unique communities who wish to be active and participate in cultural ethnic celebrations, but also in providing living learning communities. Currently, our Afro Hall for African American students is part of the social justice initiatives here at UC Merced. In addition to our plans to create a Hmong living learning community, our Fiat Lux program is considered a living learning community, and continue to grow those kind of types of communities that's inclusive of our students who attend UC Merced. We also provide a living community for students who are LGBT+ as well. And we also provide a variety of different programs related to women empowerment, also programs related to healing circles. We are currently in the process of having our healing circles for an altar celebration to celebrate those loved ones who may have passed recently and so forth as we come together as a community. Services for undocumented students here at UC Merced. As I mentioned before, 6% of our student population here is undocumented, and that includes 15 graduate students at the master's and PhD level. So for undocumented students, they receive free legal services, as well as their immediate family is also eligible for those free legal services. They are provided with additional stipends or grants from the university to help them out with their financial aid. We also provide a great deal of networking across our campus, and we work collaboratively with a variety of different entities on our campus, our counseling psychological services, our academic advising units, and so forth, in supporting our undocumented population here at the university. We also provide an array of programs, for example, our Undocu Scholar Academy, as many of our students, because of their concerns about what's my career opportunities after graduation, why should I continue with this education if maybe as an undocumented immigrant, I have no opportunities after graduation, and helping them to understand what DACA provides, deferred action for childhood arrivals, in providing for legal presence in the United States, but also gives them work authorization. But also, what are the career options for students who don't have DACA? And the last two incoming classes where the majority now do not have DACA because they did not meet the original DACA requirements. But now with the new administration and expanding DACA and reinstating DACA to its original version, we're hoping that more of young scholars will also be applying for DACA for the first time. And to assist them with that, we do provide legal services, but we also provide financial support for those students who need to pay the fee of $495 to either initiate or renew their DACA. So we also do that. And students learn more about, through our Undocu Scholar Academy, about how to apply to graduate school, how will I pay for graduate school, and so forth. We also speak about entrepreneurship if students do not go on to professional school or graduate school, whether their career opportunities beyond that. How do they become an independent contractor? How do they create their own LLC or licensed limited company on their own? We do provide emergency funds for students and a variety of things that, for example, sometimes food sustainability, sometimes shortness of funds for rent, and so forth. So it depends on the situations, and students just submit a form, and we review the form and authorize the transfer of funds to the student's account. Our newest initiative is Underground Scholars Initiative, which we hope we will be beginning this fall of 2021. This is an initiative to address and provide support services and resources for those scholars who are formerly incarcerated, or students who are scholars who have been incarcerated maybe as minors through the California Youth Authority system, or scholars and family members who've been impacted by family incarceration. And so we hope that this program will help to support in the continuation and shifting away from the pipeline from certain communities to prison, but shifting that pipeline instead to higher education. And again, we're pretty excited about this initiative, and we look forward to beginning it as we will start doing our recruitment, for not only staff members this spring, but also, getting the word out to incoming students and working with local community colleges, as well as how we can support their scholars if they choose to come to UC Merced. So one of the theories that we have is that students who we pipeline into these variety of programs that we just mentioned, that if a first-year student is able to be in 2 of these programs, they're going to be extremely successful here at the university, not only academically, but personally as well, as their network expands and they develop their networks into looking into possible experiential opportunities such as internships, study abroad, doing research, and so forth. The importance of developing relationships with not only administrators and mentors, but also with faculty, and where those relationships can take a student as they look at the prospects beyond graduation. So these are the programs that we offer through the Bright Success Center. This is what we encourage students to at least explore for themselves and consider enrolling and participating in, because the opportunities get enhanced for them as far as their networking, but also their opportunities. So one of the things that we look at, especially for our community partners, is that we have a student educational migration story, where for the community partnerships, we do visit campuses either physically or virtually, in helping their scholars to understand what the benefits are of coming to UC Merced, how we will support them in their journey here at the university during their tenure. One of the mantras that I always preach to students is, I will be intentionally intrusive in your experience here at UC Merced. Why? Because we need to be sure that you're being successful, that our commitment is to get you to graduation. And so that includes visiting you, getting to know you before, over the course of the summer prior to starting here at the university, to encourage you to be participating in summer orientation or a Jumpstart program that we hope to have this summer to help students get off to a better start here at the university, and so forth. And then meeting again with students at summer orientation, and then providing any supplemental summer program that we might come up with, including our Jumpstart program that we're looking at starting this summer. And then we meet with the scholars again in the fall, and then we maintain relationships. With those students who come from community-based organizations with whom we have agreements, we also do mid-semester assessments and end-of-semester assessments, not just for the first year, but students who are in their first, second, third, fourth, and even 4.5, fifth year seniors. And so therefore, making the organization aware and how the students progressing, but also the interventions that the university is taking to help them to be successful. What we find is, and as I mentioned before, is that the retention rate is 94% first to second year. 85% of our scholars in the community partnerships will be on track to graduate within a 6-year window, and 71% of those scholars will graduate in exactly 4 years. We also partner with a variety of academic support programs on our campus. Our Bobcat Advising Center is a center specifically for first year and undeclared students, as well as transfer students in their first year. And so the general advising is provided through that office. As the students progress into their second year, then they will be assigned to their academic school. So if I'm a mechanical engineering, that means my advisor my second year and beyond will be located in the School of Engineering. If I am a sociology major, then my advisor will be located in the School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts, and so forth. So as we help the students progress through their first year and get personal attention as far as their academic advising and so forth, to help them in not only in their academic transition, but also start exploring the experiential transitions that they're going through as far as opportunities beyond the classroom. And as you can see, we have academic tutorial programs, as I mentioned before, the Chem Center, the Math Center, PALS, you've heard about, our Physics Center, our STEM Resource Center, and Writing Center. But what's unique about the Excel program, the Excel program is not an academic advising, nor is it a tutorial program. It is an academic coaching. It is a center where students can come in, meet, and have a personal assessment about their learning style and what resources can they utilize to accommodate their particular unique learning style so that they can be successful in the classroom. Now I'll open up to any questions you all may have.
Thank you, Alex. So it looks like we're doing a pretty great job in answering any incoming questions behind the scenes. So we don't have any that are pending at this time. What I will do is give a quick announcement to the audience here. We do have additional upcoming virtual online events. So if you are interested in taking a look at the upcoming programming, you can check out our website at admissions.ucmerced.edu/events. And additionally to that, we also record the majority of our events. So you can also take a look for replays in case you do happen to miss something, or if you just simply would like to get more information and listen to Alex's great performance today. So we do have those things available. Again, that website is admissions.ucmerced.edu/events. And once again, the replays will be available within just a couple of days of each event. Also, in addition to that, we will be sending out a survey at the end of this event. So if you can take a moment and send us your feedback, we would really appreciate that. We definitely try to target any of the programming that we do to the most important content that is of interest to you, our audience. So we can definitely do a better job and continue to provide that information to you if you can give us your feedback on how we can improve or any additional information that you may like to hear from us. At this time, Alex, do you have any final words that you'd like to wrap up with today?
Yes, Ricky, thank you very much for that opportunity. One of the things that's important, especially as we engage with prospective students, it's important for them to understand that as they view or review colleges that they might be interested in applying to, that is important, one, to ask the question is, number one, is what do I have to do to be eligible for admission to your particular institution? So often we talk about the admissions requirements and so forth, and A through G requirements and grade point averages and so forth. But the second most important question of this journey that young scholars are on is that we hope they ask the second most important question. And the question is, if I decide to come to your institution, and if I'm admitted and I decide to come, what are you all going to do to help me to reach my goal to graduate? And also beyond graduation, what are my opportunities? How are you going to help me to prepare for that? And I think that's the second most important question is probably the most important question. And as young scholars look at possible college destinations for themselves, it is important to look at the resources that are available to them. I think we do an exceptional job in regards to the quality of services that we provide to our scholars, and the success rate speaks for themselves, as many of our young people have benefited from the programs that we have connected them with and that they choose to inscribe or enroll in for themselves. And it's important for them to take advantage of all the resources. But one of the most important things is be knowledgeable of the resources, but learn how to use them. And I think that's one of the things that's part of the critical thinking process, or the ability to think more critically, is, yes, I know about tutoring services, but no, I don't know how to access that for myself. No, I don't know where to look, where the schedule is. It's not suffice to just know about these things if you're not actively participating. And so this is where we go from knowledge-based to action-based. And this is where we work with our scholars a great deal, to take a greater ownership for this journey that they're on, to take, to be able to utilize their voice when they want to learn more things. The value of mentorship with faculty members, the benefits of the long-term planning for what you want to do. And like I said before, it's important for our scholars to understand that the first step of their journey to what they want to do beyond graduation starts the very first day they start here at the university. And that's the philosophy that we take. I think we very much personalize the experience for our scholars here at the university and get them to get into the mindset of being a scholar, not just a student. Now you're attending the University of California, and the University of California is a teaching and research institution. And therefore you must be an active member and be active in your learning and be active in your development. And the development takes place not only in the classroom, but beyond that in the course of community service in which our students engage in, leadership development in which our students get involved in, and so forth. And that they leave here, leaving a mark here at the university and establishing traditions, because we're only in our 16th year. And sometimes scholars don't understand that they continue to contribute to the traditions that we are constantly developing here at the university, and they leave their mark that way. But also they also make a mark in the world because of what they've learned here at the university and how they take and make a difference in the world. One of the things that I tell our scholars is that you need to understand that when you walk across that graduation stage, that yes, you're very excited about what you've just accomplished. And yes, you're very proud, and your family is extremely proud because they're the ones rooting you on as you walk across that stage. But understand that this education comes with a responsibility, and how you use this education to make a difference in another person's life. And so this is what we hope that our scholars leave UC Merced with, not only as outstanding scholars, but outstanding people as well. And so that's my message to those of you who might be referring students to UC Merced, or for those young scholars who are thinking about the prospect of applying to UC Merced. It's a great university, and we're only getting more and more recognition because of the amazing things our scholars do. So thank you very much, Richie, for this opportunity.
Absolutely. And Alex, we do actually have a question that just came in. So the question is, what is the process for being a community partner with UC Merced?
All you have to do is just email me, and I can send you a sample of the MOU or memo of understanding that we have with a variety of different organizations or schools. We can always have revisions to that MOU based upon the unique needs of your scholars that you might be referring to UC Merced or choosing to attend UC Merced. So that's usually how it works.
Wonderful. And that email address is accessible right now on the screen. So if the person who submitted that question, or anyone else for that matter, if you'd like to take a screenshot or use your phone to take a quick picture of that slide, then you will have access to that information at a later time. We also have a UC Merced directory that's available on the website. So you can just simply search in Google UC Merced directory in case you would like to reach out to anyone else as well. It's all inclusive, so you can definitely find that information there as well. And it looks like that about wraps it up for our incoming questions. If there's any others, we'll pause for just a moment to see if any others come in. Otherwise, as I stated, you can go ahead and take a screenshot of that information that's on the screen now for contact information for Alex and his department. And lastly, one quick reminder as well is that we do have additional online virtual events coming up for you. So you can take a look at that upcoming programming schedule at admissions.ucmerced.edu/events. We also will be doing replays of all of our events. So we do record these and make those available within a couple days after the live event. All right, at this time, looks like we've answered everything that's come through. Thank you so much, Alex, for the wonderful presentation today. And we greatly appreciate all of you who came and spent some time with us today. We hope to see you again soon at an upcoming event. One last quick reminder, we will be sending out that survey and hope that you can take just another moment to send us your great feedback. On behalf of all of my colleagues here at the University of California, Merced, have a wonderful day.